Greetings, it is I, your internet pal Shred Durst, and today we are going to be going through the riffs and solo to the song Frailblood by my band Draemora. I should mention that this is a baritone guitar. You don't have to use a baritone guitar, but you'd have to get some thicker strings. Maybe you already have a guitar that's close to this tuning, and maybe you can just do it for this. But this whole guitar is tuned to drop G, okay? And that's G, D, G, C, E, A. So the song starts off, and it's got this swell echo setting that I have on the synesthesia pedal that I've been using for a long time. Now, you could probably achieve this with the neck pickup of most guitars. This is a capture of my 5153, the green channel on it, which I've actually found is one of my favorite clean tones. Super weird out of such a high gain amp. So you want to find a sound that's pretty stiff and uncomfortable before you put delay and reverb on it, and then it will just come to life. For the intro of this, we just run up a G minor 7 arpeggio. That's what this is. Now the counting of the song is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and. There's a pickup that's an eighth note before the first count. So it actually starts just right before the 1 of the first measure. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? So that's how the feel of pretty much the whole song is going to go. It's got kind of a swingy kind of a feel to it that gives it like a little extra groove, and I really, really like that a lot. The opening twisty, turny kind of riff that happens here is a G minor 7 with this open G, so. And that's just a regular old G minor 7, but we're going to do something a little different to it, so check it out. So we're going to go. Add in some extra notes to make it fit in the bar, so. We're going to go down to this. So check that out. On the bottom of this one here, we're doing this pull off where we're going. Okay. That's the little lick. So all together. Okay, then we play these chords, just say D sharp 9. So then we grab the C up here, just that string, then leave it. And basically this whole chord, this is a C minor chord with a sharp 6. So it's like a Dorian chord, I guess you could call it. Or you could think of it as a sharp 4 in the context. Okay, to E flat, that's a sharp 4. And then we have another weird chord that has half major and half minor, which is this F sharp. Like F sharp to major 3rd, okay, then a flat 5, and a minor 3rd. So all together. So we're going between this open note and this G minor 7 arpeggio. So it goes like this. And we're just going to let that all hang out and warble and stuff like that, which is a really common theme in my music. I love the sound of dissonance. It makes everything a lot more emotional, and it just adds a bunch of cool sounds into kind of a boring minor 7 chord. So look at that slow. Okay, the next chord is a minor 7 as well, but we're changing the top end of this. And on the second time we do it, we're going to hit this G sharp as one of the notes, okay? So this is the first 2 chords and first 2 movements. Then we vamp into this. We do the same exact rhythm. We move the whole thing up a minor 3rd, but we're going to stay in a minor chord, which doesn't follow music theory, but I don't care. Okay, so it's an A sharp minor 7. And now this open A on the bottom adds a major 7 on the top of a minor chord, which is one of my favorite sounds of all time. And then after that, we're going to complete this with this little run. So okay, so that's the first part of this. We're going to switch positions into this arpeggio, okay? Okay, so those are like the same chord, but just a little different. All right, so let's check that out really slow, okay? And then we're back home, okay? So it should sound like this. So all together, after the clean riff starts, we have... And then we go into our chorus. We have D sharp at F at 9. We have F sharp diminished. And we have G minor. And then we go up to this A sharp. And that's the chorus. So okay, when that ends, I palm mute those and we go back into the opening riff and do this little twisty turny thing that goes. And then we're back to our riff again. Okay, once more. And then we're doing that whole thing all over again. We're going to go through those 2 riff cycles the same, and we're going to vamp onto that minor 3rd. But this time, we're going to go to this like diminished chug thing, okay? So it's going to go like this. It's going to go... That's how it opens and moves into the next thing. So let's look at that again. Okay, once we are inside, we go, and then we start doing these diminished steps. Okay, let's do this slowly. Okay, and that is everything you need to know to get to the next part. Now this next part is like a 3 against 4 polyrhythm. So basically we're just vamping back and forth on these. So and then put your finger here. It's gonna go. And stops. Then we have arrived at the solo section, okay? And the solo section for the chords goes like this. It goes the same. G, an A, an A sharp, and we have an F. Okay, so what we have here is a G minor, 7 with those 3, okay? Without the 5th, which is like a shell chord. And then we have 9 here all together. Very, very nice sounding to me. And then it goes between that and like this. So this we have a G, we have a major 7, which creates some warbling. We have another G, and then we have that 2, or that 9, to kind of give it the sound of a chord. G major minor 7 G. All together we have. And that's what's playing behind the solo. There's an entire guitar profile. You can slow it down as slow as you want and go through it. We're gonna start from here. We start with this G major 7 kind of vamp thing we do. And that opens the solo, okay? So then we come up here and grab this guy. Okay, then we come to the C sharp, bend it up to a D. So we're gonna go, and then put our pinky down here. It's the same riff we did down here, we start with that. So that puts us in position to this G minor arpeggio. With this, let's recap that. So we go. Okay, and that's the next part. So we're gonna come straight off of this. And then we're gonna go down to the 12th fret here, which is an A. And we're gonna go right into this next little sweep section. Be like, all right, so all together so far we got. Next thing we're gonna do is jump up here. So look at this, we go right from that. Really slow. The next part is just a run of sweep picking patterns that end on this F and bend a whole step up to a G. So here's the sequence of patterns. So we have A sharp minor 7. Then we have D minor with a major 7 on there. Then we have G minor with a major 7 on that. And then we slide up. And then we do an F, A sharp, and then we take the F, bend it to a G. It would sound like this. Okay, so all together, the solo. We got that chord again, the open G, and then these guys. Remember, that's our G minor 7 add 9, or G minor 9. And the way I do it in the song and live is right after the solo, switches to this beautiful sound. We hit the G, and then from the string below at the D, strum that and then go. Okay, so it should sound like this. Then we go back to the chorus, and after that chorus, there's one more riff that ends out the song. All right, so we're doing the chorus. At the end of the chorus, we're doing these. And then I take this, slide it up one. That's the sound on the album. You're going to have to go from this diminished shape. Right? So that's how the song goes. So that's all the riffs to this song. And there is a complete guitar profile for you and tab sheet. And if you don't have a guitar that can be in baritone and you still want to learn this, if you have a Guitar Pro, you can literally just click right on the strings that are right there and change it to drop D or drop C or whatever your guitar is in. And as long as it's a standard tuning with a dropped top string that's dropped one full step, just a drop tuning, you will be able to learn this song, okay? So fear not, people who don't have a baritone guitar. The only thing is you won't be able to play to the song on the album. But if you're just learning this so you can learn the techniques in the song and make it your own, and you just want to learn the solo and learn some of the stuff and kind of learn some of these chord voicings and maybe take them and use them in your own songs, then just transpose it. Everything that I talked about here, those formulas and everything for every one of the chords should work just exactly the same, okay? I hope you have fun learning this song and playing along to it. And if any of you get it to the point where you think it's real sassy and crispy, go ahead and tag me in your post, man. I want to see you playing this song or playing the solo or any of the parts, really. On this album, I used a 5153 100-watt head for all of the sounds, and I used that into a Mesa cabinet with a bunch of different microphones. I did capture that on my Nano Cortex. I captured the two sounds that I used. They are called girth gains and cinnamon buns. One is the distorted sound I use for everything. Leads, rhythm, everything you can imagine that has distortion. I use that as the bass tone. And then the clean tone I'm calling cinnamon buns is just the green channel on the 5153. That is just the bass sound. So the cinnamon buns, the girth gangs, was the preamps of the 5153. And then with the microphones on it, I made IRs of the exact microphone capture that is on that album so that I could pull it up for later. But you, if you have a Nano Cortex or a Quad Cortex or something like that, and you have the Cortex Cloud, you can find me on there, Shred Durst, and you can get these tones and use them in your own songs. This took an immense amount of work, like just a crazy amount of work to to put this together. So I really, really appreciate your support. I hope you learn a lot of cool stuff from this. If you have questions, as always, get onto my Discord. Ask me in there. You can message me through Patreon. I do my best to answer you back. I appreciate all you guys, and I'll see you later.